Welcome to the True Assassins podcast.
Yeah.
You all sent in some really wild material from Orlando Madsbrine's True Assassins.
Yeah.
And we've put together a real murder investigation for you today.
Good.
Exploring two narratives inspired by the shadowy world of assassins
Mhm.
and their dark legacies.
Right.
So get ready. First up, we're going to explore a chilling tale of a cursed sword.
Okay.
And then, shift gears completely, we're going to look at a cosmic chess game
Whoa.
where assassins are the unsuspecting pieces.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We've got two pretty distinct stories for you. They approach the world of assassination from very different perspectives. One focuses on a deeply personal struggle against a malevolent object, and the other broadens the scope to an epic conflict, a scale beyond human comprehension, really.
So first we're going to dissect the story of a samurai and a blade with a bloody history, the
Yeah.
Widowmaker.
Okay.
Now, you highlighted this tale in the material you shared, and we found it incredibly compelling.
Yeah.
We're going to trace the sword's influence on this young warrior. His name's Katsuo. We'll look at how he grapples with its sinister power. We're going to look at the whispers, the warnings he receives,
Right.
and his unique approach to breaking the curse. Now, this is a story about inner battles as much as external ones.
What's particularly intriguing about this narrative, and perhaps what drew your attention to it, is that it explores how an object can seem to exert influence over an individual's will. It raises questions about the power of belief, both Katsuo's and the villagers, in shaping reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then we shift gears dramatically, right?
Yep.
We're going from the earthly realm of samurai, and we're going to ascend to a cosmic chessboard,
Wow.
where ancient beings are playing a deadly game using assassins as their pawns.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to examine the strategies of Eldrin, a timeless one, as he clashes with his veiled opponent.
Right.
We're going to explore how their moves manifest as assassinations and conflicts in the mortal realm. We'll see how even a seemingly insignificant piece can alter the course of this epic struggle.
This second story, which takes us into the realm of the fantastical, offers a fascinating counterpoint to the first. It makes you wonder about the forces, seen and unseen, that might be at play in shaping events, and whether individual actions are truly our own or part of some grander design.
It really does. Our mission today is to pull out the most intriguing aspects of these narratives from True Assassins, highlighting the surprising twists and the deeper meanings embedded within these tales of assassination. We want to give you a clear understanding of these stories and spark your curiosity to consider the different facets of power, fate, and inner strength they present. So let's begin our first murder investigation.
Let's start with the bloody legacy,
Yeah.
the concept of a cursed sword, like the Widowmaker.
Right.
It's a recurring motif in folklore across many cultures. Why do you think it is that that this object continues to captivate our imagination?
That's a great question. I think it taps into a primal fear, that, as you said earlier, but also it's a fascination with the idea that objects can hold power, that they can be more than just inanimate things.
Right.
In the story, the stage is set immediately with Katsuo's inheritance of the Widowmaker. His master dies, and he's left with this infamous blade. He's not just inheriting a weapon, he's inheriting a legend, and a dangerous one at that.
And the initial events, as you pointed out in the material you shared, unfold quickly. His master, a respected figure, dies, leaving Katsuo with this infamous blade. His first kill with it, a bandit chief, is successful, but it's followed by that unsettling whisper. What did that detail suggest to you?
Oh, that whisper to me.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the first sign that the sword is more than just steel. It's almost like there's this parasitic influence, this subtle intrusion into Katsuo's own thoughts.
Right.
So it blurs the line between his own will and the sword's dark nature. And this is even after what might be considered a justifiable act.
The villagers certainly reinforce this idea, don't they? Their warnings about the Widowmaker's past owners descending into madness paint a grim picture for Katsuo.
What do you think about his initial reaction to these warnings?
So initially he dismisses them,
Yeah.
which seems natural. He's a trained warrior.
Right.
He likely prides himself on his discipline and control.
Yeah.
He probably believes his own will is stronger than any inanimate object. But it makes you wonder, though, if there's a certain arrogance in that belief,
Mm-hmm.
a failure to recognize potential unseen influences.
That's a fascinating point. Do you think that initial dismissal makes his subsequent struggle even more impactful? This realization that his own strength might not be enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As the story progresses, and with each subsequent kill, even against deserving targets, as the narrative emphasizes, those doubts start to creep in. That satisfaction of justice becomes intertwined with a darker hunger,
Right.
a growing unease.
Yeah.
It's a slow erosion of his initial certainty. And that erosion manifests in very tangible ways, doesn't it? The fitful sleep and disturbing dreams you mentioned in your notes highlight the internal conflict he's experiencing. It's not just about the physical act of wielding the sword, it's the mental and emotional toll that it's taking.
Right. And then old Tanaka, the swordsmith, offers this very explicit warning.
Yeah.
He doesn't just recount old wives' tales, you know?
Right.
He speaks with a conviction born of knowledge.
Yeah.
He states that the sword drinks the soul and leads to bloodlust. It's a much more direct and chilling assessment than the villagers' fearful whispers.
Yet, even after such a stark warning, Katsuo remains skeptical, at least outwardly. But as the narrative unfolds, we see that his actions start to betray his growing unease. His missions become less about righteousness and more about fulfilling a primal urge, a thirst that seems to originate from the blade itself. What did you make of that shift?
It's a terrifying realization for him, I think.
Yeah.
The moment he understands that he's no longer the master of the sword, but that the sword is beginning to master him,
Right.
it's a loss of control, you know? A fundamental challenge to his identity as a disciplined warrior.
Yeah.
The sword essentially becomes his captor.
And his decision to seek inner discipline at a temple is a significant departure from what one might expect. Instead of seeking a stronger weapon or a more powerful technique, he turns inward. What does that tell you about his understanding of the true threat?
It suggests a profound insight.
Yeah.
He recognizes that this isn't a physical battle.
Right.
He can't win with brute force. You
Yeah.
know? The curse, if you want to call it that, it's affecting his mind, his soul.
Mm-hmm.
So the battle must be fought internally, through meditation,
Right.
self-control.
Yeah.
It's a much more nuanced approach than simply trying to destroy the sword.
The description of his meditation as a war against the sword's whispers is a powerful image. It emphasizes the active struggle he's engaged in, the constant effort required to resist the blade's influence. Each moment of clarity, each temptation resisted, becomes a victory in this internal conflict.
Yeah, and this inner war culminates in the final confrontation with the bandit horde.
Yeah.
But instead of relying on the Widowmaker's power, he uses its dark reputation, you know, this inherent bloodlust, as a weapon against his enemies, turning them against each other. What did you make of that strategy?
It's a brilliant subversion of expectations.
Right.
He's not trying to overcome the sword's curse through direct opposition. In battle, he's understanding its nature and exploiting it.
Yeah.
You know, it shows a level of cunning and strategic thinking that goes beyond mere swordsmanship.
Exactly. You know, and you see the contrast between the bandits who are driven into a frenzy
Right.
by the Widowmaker's influence.
Yeah.
And then there's Katsuo, calm demeanor with his own tanto.
Yeah.
It highlights where his true strength now lies. It's not in the cursed blade. It's in his clear-eyed purpose and self-mastery. He defeats them, not with the Widowmaker's bloodlust, but with his own disciplined skill.
And his decision not to destroy the Widowmaker but to contain it is equally significant. By chaining it up, metaphorically caging the demon, he's not forgetting his struggle. He's making it a constant reminder of the darkness he overcame through his own inner strength.
Mm-hmm.
What does that symbolic act convey to you?
To me, it suggests that potential for darkness might always exist, but it can be controlled, contained by one's own will. It's a powerful statement about personal responsibility and the ongoing nature of these inner battles.
Right.
You know, he's not erasing the past. He's learning to live with it stronger for having confronted it.
So the tale of Katsuo and the Widowmaker concludes with a victory achieved not through violence or magic, but through inner strength and self-mastery. A compelling exploration of the true nature of a warrior's spirit, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And now, prepare for a complete shift in perspective.
Oh boy. Okay.
As we move from this very personal struggle to a conflict playing out on a cosmic scale.
Oh, wow. This is murder investigation number 2, right?
Right.
We're talking about ancient otherworldly beings engaged in a chess game.
Right.
With the mortal realm as their board.
Wow.
Now, what was your initial reaction to that idea when you encountered it in True Assassins?
It's a mind-bending concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you question all those forces that might be shaping events in our world in ways we can't even fathom. The description of the chessboard and the pieces shifting substance and exquisitely carved sliver of night, it creates a sense of immense power,
Yeah.
mystery.
And the fact that each move has tangible, deadly consequences in the mortal realm.
Right.
Like a pawn moving results in an assassination.
Yeah.
It establishes incredibly high stakes. It
Yeah.
makes you see assassins not just as individuals acting on their own, but potentially as unwitting pieces in a much larger game.
We're then introduced to Eldrin, one of these timeless ones, whose approach to this game emphasizes strategy and long-term planning. What does that tell you about the nature of this cosmic conflict? It suggests that this isn't some chaotic free-for-all,
Right. Yeah.
but a carefully considered battle of wits.
Right.
Eldrin's not relying on brute force,
Yeah.
but on understanding this subtle interplay of moves
Right.
and their potential ripple effects
Yeah.
in the mortal realm.
Yeah, and his first move, advancing a rook, is described as a trap. This immediately highlights the strategic depth of the game. His opponent, however, is equally cunning, sacrificing a bishop for a counter gambit.
Yeah.
What did this exchange suggest to you about the opposing player?
It implies a formidable adversary,
Uh,
someone equally skilled, willing to take risks to gain an advantage.
Yeah.
It sets up a dynamic of constant challenge and response.
Right.
It's a true battle of strategic minds across this vast cosmic board.
You noted Eldrin's chilling kind of respect for his assassin pieces, referring to them as artists of death. What do you think underlies that seemingly contradictory sentiment?
It's a fascinating detail. Perhaps it's a recognition of their skill, their effectiveness in carrying out his strategies. Even if they are ultimately just pieces in his game, it's like this, detached admiration for their deadly craft, devoid of any real emotional connection.
Right. Then comes the move of his queen,
Right.
Anya the Shadow, and her deadly infiltration. The description emphasizes her precision and the unraveling of control she causes. What stood out to you about this particular move?
It showcases the power of a single, highly skilled piece in disrupting even the most established order. Anya's actions demonstrate how a seemingly small element can have significant and far-reaching consequences in this grand cosmic strategy.
But the narrative also makes it clear that Eldrin is not invulnerable. His opponent's skill results in real losses in the mortal realm. Rebellion snuffed out, footholds lost. Why is it important to show these setbacks?
It raises the stakes, prevents Eldrin from seeming like this all-powerful, untouchable being. It shows that this is a true contest, with real consequences for both sides, both on the cosmic board and the world below. It also highlights the unpredictable nature of the game, even for beings of immense power.
And we learn that other ancient beings are observing this game, recognizing Eldrin and his opponent as the greatest strategists. What does this wider context add to the narrative?
It elevates the significance of their conflict. It's not just a personal game. It's, a clash of titans.
Yeah.
A match that holds implications beyond their immediate struggle. It suggests that the outcome could have far-reaching consequences within their own cosmic hierarchy.
The turning point seems to arrive with the fall of Eldrin's knight and the faltering of his smile. What did that moment convey to you?
That's a moment of vulnerability for Eldrin.
Yeah.
A crack in his seemingly impenetrable strategic facade. It suggests a miscalculation or a potential trap sprung by his opponent. It introduces a sense of real danger for him, even in this abstract game.
The imagery of cities becoming the board and their streets, the spaces, for the assassin's deadly dance is quite vivid. We then see Anya, his queen, confronting a rival bishop. This is a direct confrontation between two high-value pieces.
It's a moment of intense conflict, where the strategies of the two players are directly clashing in the mortal realm. The outcome of this confrontation will likely have significant ramifications for the overall game.
And Anya's defeat has a profound impact on Eldrin. The description of his reaction, a scream echoing not just across the board but through Eldrin's ancient soul, is striking. Why do you think the narrative emphasizes his emotional response so strongly?
It shatters this image of these beings as purely rational, detached strategists. It reveals a deeper connection to their pieces, a level of investment that goes beyond mere calculation. It makes them seem more relatable, even in their otherworldly existence.
Facing the possibility of defeat, Eldrin shifts his strategy, aiming for a stalemate. What does this change in objective reveal about his understanding of his opponent and the nature of the game?
It suggests a pragmatic realization that a complete victory might be unattainable, or perhaps too costly. By aiming for a stalemate, he's prioritizing the preservation of the mortal realm,
Right.
you know, preventing his opponent from achieving total dominance.
Yeah.
It's a strategic retreat, but a necessary one.
And his final piece, a seemingly insignificant pawn that becomes a healer.
Right.
It's a radical departure from the traditional moves of the game.
Right.
What did you make of this unexpected choice?
It's a brilliant subversion, Instead of another instrument of death,
Right.
Elgin introduces an element of life, of healing, and preservation. It's a move that his opponent, focused on destruction, likely wouldn't anticipate.
Right.
It shifts the very nature of the game.
The healer's actions disrupt the opponent's focus on lethal strikes, making checkmate impossible. It highlights the power of unexpected actions and the limitations even ancient beings face in controlling every aspect of their game. What's the significance of this seemingly insignificant pawn achieving such a crucial outcome?
It underscores the idea that even the smallest actions can have unforeseen and significant consequences. The healer, focused on mending and sustaining life, becomes an unmovable obstacle in the opponent's path to victory. It's a testament to the power of resilience and the unexpected strength found in acts of compassion.
And, with checkmate impossible, Eldrin orchestrates an eternal stalemate. The board dissolves, granting the mortal realm a fragile respite. What's your takeaway from this ending?
It suggests that even in eternal conflicts, there can be moments of balance,
Yeah.
Of reprieve. But the implication that this is only until the next match begins highlights the cyclical nature of this cosmic struggle. Eldrin's perspective on a stalemate as a form of victory within this endless conflict is a fascinating one.
Yeah.
It's about enduring, about preventing ultimate defeat.
So as we conclude our murder investigation into these two very different narratives from True Assassins, we see compelling explorations of power, influence, and agency, both on a personal and a cosmic scale.
What's fascinating is how both stories, despite their vastly different settings and stakes, ultimately touch on similar themes. Whether it's Katsuo's battle against the Widowmaker's control or Eldrin's strategic maneuvering in the face of a powerful opponent, we see individuals and entities grappling with forces that seek to influence or dominate them.
And in both narratives, we also see the emergence of resistance. Katsuo's inner strength allows him to break free from the sword's curse, and Eldrin's unexpected use of the healer disrupts his opponent's strategy, leading to a stalemate. It makes you consider where the true power lies in external forces or in the capacity for agency, however small it may seem.
Consider this. In your own life, what cursed blades or external forces might be subtly influencing your decisions or path? And how might seemingly small individual actions have unforeseen consequences on a larger scale? These stories, while fantastical, offer a unique lens through which to examine the dynamics of power and agency in our own world, drawn straight from the pages of Orlando Madsbrine's True Assassins.
We hope this murder investigation into these narratives has sparked some interesting thoughts for you. Let us know what stood out most and if these tales inspire any further questions or areas you'd like to explore.
Rate and follow the True Assassins podcast for more addictive cloak and dagger stories.
That's right.
Inspired by the dark, mysterious world of murder and assassins.